When we think of a goal, we envision the future we want. The goal sets a destination. We build a plan and then assume the plan will produce the outcome. But there is a variable that overrides every plan: what we normalize. A person can aspire to exercise daily while normalizing, "I'll start tomorrow." A person can aspire to write while normalizing, "I'll do it when I feel inspired." The aspiration lives in the mind. The normalization lives in the behavior. And the behavior always wins. The gap between what you want and what you accept as normal is where most futures diverge from their intentions. The body does not care what you want. It adapts to what you repeatedly do. The mind is no different. The standard you enforce is the standard you get. The standard you tolerate is the standard you drift toward. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Consistency, from fitness to flourishing. The floor is the trajectory. The floor, not the ceiling, determines the trajectory. Crawl is the normalized minimum. If you normalize 2 minutes of movement, you get 2 minutes plus whatever the accumulation of momentum produces. If you normalize 0, you get 0. The person who normalizes, "I'll start Monday," lives in a world where Monday never comes, because the standard of starting later is the thing that has been normalized. The streak protection hierarchy from episode 358 operates at the level of identity. Protect the streak first. The streak is what you normalize. The person who normalizes the non-negotiable minimum has a future that includes the behavior. The person who normalizes the heroic push followed by the collapse has a future of stop-start cycles. The behavior you normalize is the behavior you condition. What you tolerate, you teach. Every compromise you accept trains the system. The body normalizes the stimulus it receives. The mind normalizes the standards it enforces. A single skipped workout is data. A pattern of skipped workouts is a new normalized standard. The shift is silent. You do not feel the moment the standard drifts. You only feel the consequence later. The no special pleading test from episode 346 applies directly here. If you accept the excuse from yourself, you have normalized the lapse. The standard has shifted downward because the acceptance of the lapse as acceptable changes the trajectory. The same mechanism works in the opposite direction. Every kept promise normalizes promise keeping. Every return to the standard after a lapse normalizes the return. The behavioral recommitment skill from episode 357 is powerful because it prevents the lapse from becoming the new normal. The person who returns quickly keeps the standard intact. The person who lets the week slide normalizes the slide. The minor virtues as the normalizing mechanism. The minor virtues are what you normalize in daily life: politeness, punctuality, keeping promises, good form. These are not aspirations, they are procedures. And what becomes a regular procedure, you normalize. The major virtues, like compassion, justice, and integrity, are too abstract to normalize. They can be rationalized in any direction. But the minor virtues ask binary questions. Did you arrive on time? Did you finish what you started? Did you do what you said you would do? These are not open to interpretation. They are either normalized or they are not. The person who normalizes the minor virtues has a stable character from which the major virtues can emerge. The person who does not lives in a world where every standard is negotiable. And a negotiable standard is not a standard. It's a preference that easily slips when under pressure. The audit. Look at the data. Not what you intended, what you actually did this week. That is your normalized standard. The body already records it. The streak already reflects it. If you do not like where the trajectory leads, you do not need a new goal. You need to raise the floor. You need to normalize something different. The smallest promise you can keep. The crawl that preserves continuity. The standard that is too small to rationalize away. Normalize the life you want. The future is not a distant horizon waiting for you to arrive. It's the accumulation of today's standards, repeated until they become identity. Every kept promise, every protected streak, every minor virtue practiced without negotiation pushes the trajectory upward. Raise the floor. Normalize the crawl. Build a future that doesn't rely on hope because it's already encoded in your behavior. The future follows the normal. Make your normal worthy of the life you want. To put this practice in place and turn it from an idea into a lived experience, start your day one inside the Act Score Challenge. That's it for today. Catch you next time.